This week, the Vikings go dumpster raiding, AJ Styles is a flat with a PH earther, and the Legend Killer returns. Welcome to the Full Nelson Press. Hello everyone and welcome to the Full Nelson Press. My name is Brandon Kilpatrick. I'm here with my co-host Peter O'Brien. You can find him on Twitter at MVP360. You can find myself on Twitter at JohnnyJONNY_Tango. And of course you can follow the Full Nelson Press on Twitter at TFNP. Pete, how you been, bud?
Oh, hanging out, watching wrestling, the usual.
Yeah, right?
Got a lot of time on my hands. Watched all of 13 Reasons Why. Brandon.
Oh, I only have one episode down, so...
Yeah, you need to keep going, dude. I mean,
all this wrestling, man.
I would just put it as Stud of the Week every week, because it's one of the best shows. I can't even say it. Ugh, but I'm over it. And, I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine a long time. I'm on season 5.
So so Brooklyn Nine-Nine, we both have been kind of talking to each other over text message. What is your theory, that you and I are Scully and Hitchcock?
Yes, I believe the stuff that comes out of their mouth is us. Like, if we had an opportunity to sit at a desk all day and not move or do anything, we would do it. But then if we actually have to, solve something, they're, super, yeah, we got it, no problem.
You and I started working together at a video game store. That's how we met.
Yep.
And then a couple years later, we both applied for a job at Sears. Yep. And I had started a week before you did, and they're like, listen, you got a couple training videos here to watch. It might take you a week to do. I didn't watch any of them, so I could wait for you to show up.
Yeah. And I didn't watch them when we were supposed to. I just passed the classes. And
a lot of Bob Vila.
Here we are. Oh, yeah. Bob Vila taught me a lot, but, here we are.
Yeah, making a wrestling podcast, talking about Backlash that happened last Sunday.
Yeah.
Feels like a year ago.
Yeah, right?
Kickoff match was Apollo Crews. He defended his United States Championship against Andrade. Kevin Owens comes out for commentary. Apollo Crews wins thanks to KO saving him from, what's his name? Angel Graza.
Yeah.
Had tried to interfere into the match. So, Apollo Crews, I did not know this was his first United States Championship.
Yeah, it was.
That is weird.
I dig it. I'm glad he's got a belt. And I feel like, so now, because we're kind of late, MVP has kind of been trying to recruit Apollo, and
yeah, which is cool.
Would be completely on board with that stable of him and Bobby Lashley, and it would be awesome. I love MVP.
It's almost like a Titus Worldwide version 2.0 if they had taken it seriously. I dig it.
Yeah, but the problem is MVP can actually talk in front of a camera. Titus O'Neil, you can tell he rushes, and sometimes he talks too fast, and absolutely. I'm like, oh, come on, dude, you'd be so good, which is why I'm still lobbying for him to pair up with Sasha Banks and be like this bodyguard, and she's the boss, and bring it back.
That would be cool. I dig that. I would think that, even if you just took Sasha Banks and put her with MVP's faction, that'd be kind of cool, too.
Yeah. Good for Apollo.
Right. Well, we'll get right into the actual pay-per-view. First match of the night, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Sasha Banks and Bayley put their titles on the line against the Iconics and Bliss Cross Applesauce. One big point to this was, compared to the earlier week with NXT's six-man women's match, this one did so much better. They had the timing down. I generally enjoyed this match. I thought it was a fun match.
Well, I told you the whole bit with Peyton Banks and it was Alexa Bliss. Those three in the ring put on a great sequence. I was just like, wow. And then I'm like, oh, Banks is back to being second fiddle to Bayley. And oh, weird, the Iconics aren't going to be tag team champions, even though they're the only legit women's tag match team. They've been there since the start.
Mm-hmm. There has been no real big tag division in the women's scene. It's just mixing up women and seeing how it works.
Yeah, and Peyton Royce and Billy Kay have tag team moves. They actually are a group. you're missing out. But whatever. I guess this is leading to Banks versus Bayley. Will something happen with this? Because I am over it.
It's been leading to Sasha versus Bayley since like 2016, man. It's been leading to that forever. I'm done with it.
I'm not even interested or invested in these two right now. Like, I'm not. I just want something different for them.
Right. No, I agree. I could agree completely. One thing, though, Sasha did get the win in the end. Her doing the roll-up, I don't even remember who it was to anymore. It was almost like watching a soldier, like, assemble an assault rifle. Like, it was just finishing move, grab the legs, 1, 2, 3, we're done. I really liked that. So, yeah, Sasha Banks and Bayley are still women's champion. Bayley is still women's champion. I don't know what this means for either of them. I don't even know who the next opponent is for either title.
They followed up on Raw that Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are still going after him, which I was just like, then why even do the triple threat? Like, I don't know.
But then they showed up on NXT against Tegan Nox and Shorty Blackheart, I think.
Yeah.
And they had a quick little stint, which, I mean, cool, just to remind us that the women's tag titles could be used anywhere. But that doesn't mean you just have to do matches. You could do full feuds on multiple shows with these women. I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Next, Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. My favorite match of the night, only because Sheamus beat the hell out of Jeff Hardy for 15 minutes.
I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Like, it happened, it's done, it's over, move on. Like, it didn't do anything for me for either character.
I don't know, it built a little bit of stock of Sheamus. I think it should be Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam.
Nope,
I think that
no.
Put both those people on the poster, man. I'd love to see that shit.
Nope. Sheamus is so far down on the card right now that there's no way, unless they start billing Sheamus to be a beast. Nope.
Well, they kind of are billing him as a beast since his return.
Yeah, but they need to do more.
He's only had one opponent.
He put Cena through a table. That skyrocketed him. They're keeping him stagnant so long. It's just like, come on. Take out the lead guy. Take out Styles. If Sheamus took out Styles, I'd be like, okay.
That's what I want to see. I think it's time for Sheamus to be put back into the main event scene. I really do. With Roman Reigns and not having John Cena, and Jon Moxley being gone, they need to start filling up the main event roster, and I think Sheamus could definitely do that.
Yeah, I like Sheamus. I always liked Sheamus.
I know you have. You're a huge Sheamus fan.
Except for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, dude, you botched that. Like, it was weird.
That was real bad. I didn't like that at all.
Oof.
Next is the Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka puts her title on the line against Nia the Destroyer. Nothing remarkable happens.
Nope.
Asuka wins. Yep. No one got injured, so I guess that's a plus
we're happy with it. we're fine with what happened.
We'll just move on then to they said it's a handicap match, but I'm pretty sure it was a tag match between The Miz and John Morrison versus Braun Strowman and his car.
I don't like these matches of our world champion is taking on two guys. That's stupid. That's stupid.
Do you think Morrison really would have signed his contract if they would have told him in
like
4 months?
I really don't. I think he's like, I want out. This sucks.
We just saw the same exact storyline written when he was the IC champion with Sami Zayn and Cesaro and Shinsuke. Like, they're just rehashing that shit. That makes his character stale.
Apparently, Braun is too powerful now because he beat Goldberg. And they think like he's unstoppable, but Goldberg's super old. Anyone could beat him right now. And the fact that they're like, oh, let's just do it again with this. I was like, I don't want to watch this. That's dumb.
Well, how many pushes have they just straight up just stopped for Strowman? So I can't invest into this anymore. They
12?
Can't. More than that, probably.
13.
I don't get it anymore. Also, it looks like it's going to be Bray Wyatt is going to be continuing to feud with Braun Strowman now. It sounds like they might be doing a different gimmick change for Bray Wyatt and more of he has multiple personalities, which was really just they're able to use multiple gimmicks because now he's doing the swamp Bray Wyatt now with the straw hat and shit. I don't know. Obviously, it's going to be the straw Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman at Extreme Rules, which is going to lead up to finally The Fiend versus Strowman at SummerSlam.
I think they're kind of taking a page out of AEW's book because Matt Hardy has like 12 versions. And Matt Hardy has been doing version after version, so they're like, we'll just do this with Bray. Which, by the way, all of Bray Wyatt's characters are great. Matt Hardy's aren't. But he's getting them over.
I'm sorry, are you saying version 1 wasn't a good gimmick?
No! But like...
Then they have little tips on the side, telling you his favorite food and stuff.
But the problem is he's getting them over now. Like, these characters are so dumb that now I think he even knows it.
Well, yeah, because the world is run on nostalgia now.
But if Bray Wyatt goes back to the Straw Hat Bray Wyatt, which I never really thought should have left. I think that was an awesome character. But then he brought back this like happy time Bray Wyatt trying to be buddies, but he has a dark side. I'm like, oh my god, that character is even better. I'm like, I'm actually okay with all of this.
I am cool with it too, like with having like the straw Bray, the happy Bray, the fiend Bray. I wonder if they'll do more. Like I wonder if they'll start bringing back Sister Abigail, my favorite Bray Wyatt gimmick.
Actually, bring a girl into Sister Abigail and then form a faction.
Do you remember when they made him be Sister Abigail?
That was not going to go over. Thank God it didn't.
Yeah, thank God. So yeah, Strowman wins. He bins both Miz and Morrison. I don't remember which ones. It just sucks.
Miz was a world title holder. So was Morrison. And Braun Strowman can just pin him like ease. And you just buried him. Like, by doing these stupid group things. No, I'm done with this match. Move on. I hate it.
Next is going to be Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. The match we've all been waiting for. You know what? Definitely a beat 'em up.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
They actually have good chemistry. Those two actually worked really well together.
How refreshing was it to finally see two big guys just beat the hell out of each other? It's always one's too fucking old or one's too fucking injured.
These two worked well together. It was great. And then the following night, Lashley dumps Lana. It's over because she costed him the match. And then that's when MVP moved to Apollo, being like, yo, you want to join us? And Apollo's like, nah, man. But like MVP's still watching him. Join the faction. Turn Apollo heel. Let's go. Angel Garza turns face. Whoa.
Oh, I think Angel Garza will be a top face very soon. I completely agree with you on that one. Next is going to be the Raw Tag Team Championship match, the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders. This wasn't a match. It was another one of those cinematic events. Just a bunch of they beat up Strowman's car again. Poor car.
Someone got thrown through a window. The big thing is, though, is Akira Tozawa's group. Like, why are we glossing over this? We all know the goofiness.
He owns the fucking Yakuza now.
Yeah, apparently. It's so great.
I love it.
I love that he's getting airtime because he's too good. Yeah, the match was like, whatever, all the interesting things. Like, they're friends now. Like, I think that's why I wasn't invested in the match. But, like, when the Yakuzas, or whoever they are, I don't know what they're called, but, like, the Akira Tozawas.
All of them. And a 7-foot-tall ninja.
I thought that was Titus O'Neil.
What a bad ninja. Like, you're supposed to be stealthy, and you're like, yeah, pick the 7-foot-tall guy. He's the stealthy one.
Pretty sure you would, like, I mean, he's a monster. That guy's huge.
Well, yeah, but have you ever played Tenshu? Like,
yeah,
you don't
really
pick the 7-foot-tall guy.
Oh, can they bring another Tenshu? I really like Tenshu.
I know, right? Like, sidebar, can we just talk about...
Can we get a new Tenshu game?
Right?
And then they're like, oh, you got Ghost of Tsunami or whatever. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want Tenshu!
I want Tenshu! Or Splinter Cell. I just want a fun, stealthy game.
Just get a new Splinter Cell. The last one was great. Anyways, so now there's a new faction with Tozawa, which I dig. It looks like the Viking Raiders and Street Profits now are like friends because they like hung out on Raw and the ninjas came down again. But then this time there was a big reveal that Big Show's back.
Yeah.
Wham,
Dude, it really felt like The Hangover Part 4.
You know who could have joined them when the ninjas came around the ring at Raw?
Who's that?
Well, someone that, you know, could light up a room and
feel
the
she wasn't even on the card.
Glow.
Bring it to the floor.
If she would have come down, no, it would have been cool. I'm just kidding. I just tried to fit it in. It actually made sense.
It did not.
It
Next
did
is
too.
The main event, the greatest match of all time, Edge versus Randy Orton.
What is the big deal with this match? I watched the whole thing. So there was cool moves, all right? We saw a rock bottom. We saw a pedigree. Ooh, we saw arm drags. We saw the crossface like 20 times. And then Orton's boring, so we saw the stomps and the meticulous rocking around. He did get cut up, but even the punt at the end, like, I was like, neat. I thought it was too long. I thought it was not the greatest match, but I know people aren't saying it's the greatest match. But I'm on the side where I'm just like, no. I didn't think it was that great.
I agree.
I've seen better.
Too long, and they were trying too hard. Like, I didn't need to see the rock bottom. I didn't need someone to be sitting at the under the ring just checking off every move to make sure they've done every single move out there.
I didn't need the kick outs of finishers.
Yeah.
WWE's problem with finishers is so bad right now because they don't matter. You have
They
to
don't
do
know
them
how to
like
finish
4
a match.
times. Because they don't know how to finish the match. Ed speared Orton twice, kick out. Orton did the RKO twice, kick out. So it took a full-on punt to the head, which thank God that's back. And I also dig the fact that now Orton, since he sidelined Edge, he's bringing back the Legend Killer moniker.
Yes, he
Because
is.
he said, I got Matt Hardy out of here. I'm like, yes, he's going back to the only cool
How
Orton.
awesome would it have been that, like, halfway through one of Undertaker's interviews on his documentary they got going on, they just have Orton just RKO him right out of the chair. Oh my God, I'd love it.
Legend killed Orton. It was fine. It was just a match. It was just too long. If the match
It
would have
was
been like
just a
20
match.
minutes, like it was like 40 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm
It
pretty
took
sure it was almost a
forever.
whole hour. Yeah,
And people are
absolutely.
like, oh, it never drug. I'm like, yes, it did.
Oh, it definitely
Yes,
did.
it did. I'm like, let's go.
I will say it now. The greatest wrestling match of all time, if it ever happens, will never have a headlock in it.
Yeah.
I'll just say that now. If it's a whole match that doesn't have one headlock, it's probably the greatest match you've ever watched.
Well, they were trying to like bring nostalgia to it. And I'm just like, no, like Edge and Orton hate each other. You like threatened his kids and you're like, yeah, okay.
Well, Orton did what? Kick Beth in the head?
Yeah.
So, or RKO her? Something
Yeah.
like that. It doesn't matter. I will say this. I think Randy Orton might be one of the greatest villains in wrestling history.
Yeah, you could do. I'd agree with that for sure.
So yeah, well, what would you grade Backlash 2020?
I would give it like a C.
C.
Yeah, I don't care. Like it was a flatliner, you know, because you don't need all these pay-per-views. You don't need Backlash. You could just let them go, marinate stories longer, and make better pay-per-views. That's the problem with these. They're so watered down. I don't care.
No, I agree. Out of all of these matches that I have on here, there were only 3 that I really enjoyed.
Right.
And that was the women's tag match,
Yes.
Bobby Lashley versus McIntyre. You know what? Just 2 matches. Those are the only 2 matches I enjoyed.
I mean, I tolerated the greatest match, like
Yeah.
because there was still some good moves in it, but like I couldn't see what people were seeing like on how amazing it was, and I don't know if I'm just being like bullheaded, and maybe I have some bitterness towards WWE with their pay-per-view structures, and this is why these matches are getting watered down.
So I guess the one positive thing with the greatest match of all time is it didn't disappoint me. Like
No, it didn't
I
disappoint.
had expectations low.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like I walked out of there being like that was a shit fucking match.
And it brought someone out of retirement. One more match, hit the switch.
So yeah, I'm also giving Backlash a C, and that C is for Christian because Christian is back. I remember you texted me in like 2010, 2011 being like, Brandon, just flip the switch.
And just
flip
hit the switch, dude.
Hit the switch.
One more match. He comes back, and his return probably got overshadowed by Big Show's 29th return. He like does a
unsanctioned match.
And Orton's like, don't do it. And then Ric Flair comes out, crotch punches him.
So we find out that there's COVID going on in the audience right now. So let's invite fucking 90-year-old Flair to the fucking arena
dude,
right now.
Ric Flair
guys.
don't care, dude. He's the
He
dirtiest
doesn't.
player in the game, and that includes taking over COVID. He doesn't care. I'm the dirtiest player in the game.
Yeah, so they have an unsanctioned match, which actually doesn't happen because Flair just punches Christian in the dick. I'm curious to see if we're going to get an Extreme Rules match between the two.
I'd be
It
cool
would
with that,
make
though.
sense.
Their last match, when they were going for the belt when he was on SmackDown and Christian kept doing the whole one more match thing, like,
Right.
those matches were good. And I don't like watching Orton matches, but those matches were entertaining.
No, I dug them too. But we should be finding out here soon. I guess Edge is going to be on Raw tonight. Raw just started right now. He should be saying something about what his future is with the WWE or where he's going to be next. He's obviously not going to make it to SummerSlam.
No, he tore his tricep. Like, he's
Yeah,
out.
he's done. Let's get right into the news. The news brought to you by WrestlingPages.com. Check out the Wrestling Pages app on the App Store and Google Play. First thing I want to get into right now, Pete, the most important news of the day, I think. During an appearance on After the Bell with Corey Graves, Orton hinted to the fact that AJ Styles might be a flat earther, and that just made my week.
It should. AJ Styles, though, was buried alive.
Oh, that's true. This might be a different AJ Styles.
So it might be someone completely different. Because
Yep.
I don't know if people forgot about the fact that he was buried alive, WWE. You buried a man alive, and then you're like, well, now he's the IC champion. So
do you think he was sitting in the coffin being like, well, at least this is flat?
yeah, he's like, just like Earth, babe.
Yeah.
What happened to you? Did that dirt crush your head? Well, I did get buried alive.
Lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for him. Good for AJ Styles. Next, Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali will be moving to Raw. This is part of the trade to get AJ Styles onto SmackDown. Dolph Ziggler, I don't know. He's just a placeholder right now. I think he's totally just phoning it in right now, and it's pretty clear because creative has given up on him.
Yeah.
But Mustafa Ali, that might be interesting. He obviously is not going to be the hacker on SmackDown now.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but Mustafa Ali, good for you. Hopefully something happens with him. He's good. Like, he almost was in Kofi Kingston's spot.
He was so close.
Just imagine that, folks. Like, he was that close.
Mm-hmm.
Pops his eye out or something. What happened? It was something with his eye, wasn't it?
Pink
so
eye?
He was out. Ew.
Gross.
So he's out. And Kofi Kingston has like one of the coolest WrestleMania moments we've seen in quite some time.
It is one of the greatest feuds of his career.
It was so great.
Kofi deserved it, and Mustafa just showed up, so I would not doubt it if they're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Next is going to be, we are going to get a winner-takes-all match in NXT. It is going to be this Wednesday night. General Manager William Regal announced that it will be Keith Lee with his NXT North American Championship against Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor. Whoever wins that match and becomes North America champion will then take on Adam Cole at the next NXT for a winner-takes-all match. So it sounds like someone might be moving to NXT soon, and my guess is Keith Lee. Or moving to SmackDown or Raw.
No, I think Keith Lee's winning it. I think they're going to keep him down there.
You think he's going to be the two belt holder?
I think so. I honestly believe so. It'd be cool if he got moved up because I think they should have struck when the iron was hot after Survivor Series. Like, Keith Lee was
I think that was just a taste.
Fire.
Keith Lee will bring it back full force.
But I have no faith in NXT call-ups, so prove me wrong.
Tell me who's been the most successful NXT call-up.
Probably Drew McIntyre, or Kevin Owens was pretty successful.
But yeah, Kevin, but look where he is now, and we can only imagine where Drew McIntyre will be in a year from now. Let's hope he still is running this train, but I don't think it's going to be that way.
I mean, Big E has been successful with the tag belts.
Rollins, but he was only there a minute.
Yeah, Rollins was there. Asuka was there. Charlotte.
I would say Asuka's probably the most successful woman,
Charlotte.
Most successful wrestler to come out of the
Charlotte.
NXT. Charlotte's still good.
Charlotte has the record, like, for women's belts. Like, she's going to break her dad's record. And she's probably going to become the men's champion by the looks of it. Apparently, there's grumblings that she might challenge a guy.
I think that was the big draw they were going to do this summer.
Maybe.
So it'll be interesting because I think definitely someone is moving on from NXT. Whether it's going to be, I hope it's not Balor.
I wouldn't mind Balor getting it, holding those belts, and being the king again. Balor's too good.
Yeah, I would be cool with him staying down there.
Yeah, I'd like him down there too, but I think he should be on the main roster, and there's one of your main eventers, because he is a main eventer. And then he still has the demon in his back pocket. Like, they don't even need to call it the demon. Just call it, like it's his war paint. Like, it gets him hyped up to fight on a pay-per-view. It doesn't need to be some alter ego, I'm more powerful with this paint. It could just be like, I'm psyched up and I'm intimidating you.
Because they're kind of already using that with The Fiend.
Yeah, so I don't think it would work.
No, I agree. Next, Darren Young had hinted that they were going to do a Nexus reunion at this year's WrestleMania, but it got kiboshed because of the COVID and them not being able to do it with an arena. We would have been able to see possibly Wade Barrett, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Ryback, Otunga, and Curtis Axel. But then he then slyly says, oh yeah, it was just for an access panel.
Oh.
So the fuck it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't. Because if all those guys came back, I would be on board.
Oh yeah, just one big spot with all of them. Maybe not Ryback. Maybe we don't need Ryback.
I liked Ryback. Or maybe Skip Sheffield. He could come back and Skip Sheffield.
Stud of the week. That's where we're at, man. I think we're both in the same boat here. They announced this week that Undertaker has officially retired from wrestling for now, is where I'm going to leave it.
He is not. He
Nope.
is not retired. We both know it. I like how people are like, see you later. No, we'll see you in 2 years when we can have fans. And then you can have your match. You can heal up. He isn't done. There's no way Undertaker, the guy who has been there forever, is going to walk away with a cinematic match like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope.
Not only do I see him coming back for one more match, I see him coming back for one more match also in Saudi Arabia. We at least get 2 matches out of Undertaker before he's done. I mean, we just had Christian tease a no sanction match. Edge just came back. Shawn Michaels retired twice. Like, this shit happens.
Yeah.
I don't see Taker just being like, I'm done.
No, I don't see it. If you watch like the documentary, every episode he always says, you get those fans. And it's like, the documentary is great. But after a couple episodes hearing, once you hear those fans, you want to come back. And then Father Time, they use the same lines. Like, okay, we get it. He's old, Father Time. He likes the crowd. That's why he keeps coming back. If he gets that itch to be with the crowd again and there's a full arena and he can take on AJ Styles as like a revenge match, and AJ Styles beats Undertaker to retire him, I think he would like that better. Or if maybe Bray Wyatt gets big enough that Bray Wyatt beats him. Because I think the only wrestler right now that can take a torch from Undertaker will be Bray Wyatt. But he works better with smaller guys. So that leads me to Balor. That leads me to Andrade, because Andrade's really good. Mustafa Ali could be someone, like, if he gets big enough.
Man.
Daniel Bryan could be the guy. Like, I feel like there's people that would fit it. I think Bray Wyatt's the best, but no! Undertaker's not done. He's still a stud.
Right.
He is the stud of the week, and I'll stand by it. Undertaker, badass, still my favorite one, because he got to the ring the quickest.
What's your favorite Undertaker match?
My favorite?
Mm-hmm.
The CM Punk Undertaker match was great.
Right on. I think my favorite one might be Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy at that Raw.
That was good.
The ladder match?
Yep.
Oh, man, that is like peak wrestling right there. That is one of my all-time favorite matches.
That was a really good match. I mean, CM Punk's great. Shawn Michaels one was great. The first was it the second Triple H match with the Hell in a Cell? That was the second one. I liked that one.
That one was really good.
Him losing to Lesnar, I dug it. I'm one of the few.
My first pay-per-view that I bought with my own money was Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a First Blood match. If Stone Cold started bleeding, he'd get fired. And within like the first 10 minutes of the match, I think Stone Cold's elbow gets cut open, and they're like, no, that don't count. It's got to be his forehead. That don't count.
But no, Undertaker, we will see you soon. You are not done.
I guarantee it right now. He'll see a Saudi Arabia paycheck and be like, you know what? I could take on Randy Orton in Saudi Arabia. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, he says he has no urge, and I'm just like, dude, you wrestle once a year, and you've been put in some pretty dumb spots. Like, why are you taking on Roman Reigns? You're too old. But guess what worked? When you were fighting like Shane McMahon, because Shane McMahon knows how to work with you.
Right.
He needs to be paired up now with someone like a little smaller. He can't. If he took on Drew McIntyre, it wouldn't be a good match because Drew McIntyre's too big.
If he took on Randy Orton, I think he'd be just
Orton
fine.
would be
Randy Orton's
fine.
a big guy because he's safe. Randy Orton knows what he's doing in the ring.
Yeah.
That's why I'd like to see him is lose to the Legend Killer.
If
That'd
Orton,
be awesome. Yes.
He's like, I will add
my
another
pick.
legend. Like all these tombstones, he'd be like, Orton, you're next, and then he's just like, Mark, you're next.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Because now kayfabe's like dead with Undertaker. Like he's out there talking, so it's like, yeah, call his ass out now.
Well, let's get into Dud of the Week. Man, this might be our worst Dud of the Week. So they came out with this Speak Out movement on Twitter, and a lot of female wrestlers and some male wrestlers have come out and talk about some different like sexual assaults, just wrestlers just being pieces of shit, sending like dick pics. I know Joey Ryan was one of those guys who would be sending out his junk to everyone.
So I read more about Joey Ryan.
Okay.
Because I was talking to one of my buddies, and he's been reading all of them, but like, so Joey Ryan was choking and abusing his ex-girlfriend. So like, all the speaking out thing is super huge and needed to be done because I think everyone who is a wrestling fan knows how toxic the locker room can be. in WWE.
Absolutely.
It's terrible. I mean, like JBL is one of the worst in bullying, but yet he keeps getting a pass.
Right. I brought up to you Michael P.S. Hayes and Jerry
Mm-hmm.
Lawler. Teddy Long, all three of those, I think, are huge predators in the business.
Yeah. So the fact that all this is coming out, like Sammy Guevara's was today.
Oh man! All right, so let's get into Sammy Guevara's. An interview had come up from 2016 where he talked about allegedly, and I just want to say this first: we are not a news podcast; we are a commentary podcast. If you want to find the actual stuff on this, look it up because it's out there. Any of the news stuff that we cover, I put always sources and links in our show notes. You could find them there. But yeah, Sammy came out with a 2016 interview about how he wanted to rape Sasha Banks because he thought she was so attractive. After this had come out, Sasha Banks and him actually had a private conversation where he both privately and publicly apologized to her. AEW, which I think AEW is going above and beyond, where WWE is just, fuck this person, I'm firing them, I hope they don't beat up their spouse because we fired them, we're just letting them loose. Where AEW, they said that they are going to, let's see here, AEW has suspended Sammy without pay until further notice. Sammy has agreed to undergo extensive sensitivity training. Upon completion, his future status with the company will be reevaluated. Obviously, they're going to keep him. And then during his suspension, his salary will be donated to the Women's Center of Jacksonville, which I think is amazing. Shout out to AEW for doing this. But still, Sammy Guevara, you are a piece of shit.
Yeah, that is not a good, and he's in a group called, they just started calling themselves the Sex Gods.
Oh, did they really?
And then Jericho and Sasha Banks, like, because Sasha Banks kind of came out and said something via Twitter saying, like, your ratings, blah, blah, blah. Jericho went and defended it because I follow both of them. I was like, yeah, Jericho, serve her. And then I read this. I'm like, oh, no. That's what Sasha was saying. Oh, no. Because I didn't know. The fact that Sasha went out and talked to him shows, like, that's really big on her character. Because I think, I mean, she went and talked to him.
Yeah, she went to correct the situation.
Yeah. So I think that's why he is going into training. He has tweets, like he's flat out come out and said stuff where the other people who have been accused haven't.
Jack Gallagher was released from the WWE.
He
has been accused for assaulting a woman at a 2014 party. Jimmy Havoc will be undergoing counseling. His ex-girlfriend, Rebecca Crow, took to Twitter to allege that he had both mentally and physically abused her on multiple occasions. Jordan Devlin, which I think was our past Cruiserweight champion, a woman named Hannah had shared pictures of bruises from him. So fuck that guy. And then, of course, the main man who has debuted on SmackDown, Matt Riddle, also has a pretty bad assault allegation against him from Candy Cartwheel that had taken place on a bus a couple of years back too. WWE had known about these allegations from Matt Riddle ahead of time, but when he first signed with the WWE, and still continued to debut him on SmackDown. So I don't know how much that is.
Yeah,
true.
That's the one that, like, his lawyer came out and had like a statement. It's like it's shitty. It's so shitty.
Can we talk about his letter first? His lawyer.
So, like, you saw the thing I tagged you in, right? And all the copy.
I don't know if you tagged me in it or not, but he first releases it and prints it off on label making paper.
Yeah.
So you see the labels. Then he's like, "Fuck, this doesn't look professional." Takes it down and puts it back up, but then uses a CD sticker label sheet, so you can see the outline of the CD. Like, you could totally tell this guy's a bro.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm a lawyer.
Who do you represent? Matt Riddle? Makes sense.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think there's gonna be more coming out. And this is something, though, that we've been talking about. Not even like the sexual assault, like just straight up how toxic a locker room in WWE can be. And who knows
just the atmosphere.
Yeah,
These
terrible.
women still have to do bathing suit photo shoots all the time. I don't know if they're even comfortable doing that stuff, but they still, if you go to WWE.com, there's at least one new bikini photo shoot from all the women on there every month.
This is something that probably it had to be done, and we give the props to, like, all these women who are speaking out. And so
step forward, absolutely.
Hopefully this cleans it up, because this is just ridiculous, and these guys. I mean, Sammy Guevara's is the one that I think, like, I'm just watching to see how he does his rehab and everything, because, I mean, that is such a poor choice of words. But the fact that Sasha Banks went and talked to him and said in her letter on Twitter, like, hey, he's going to work on it. I talked to him about the ramifications. Shows me that, one, I think Sasha Banks kind of, like, is like, okay, he was 22 at the time. He was just...
Well, yeah, good on her for making the legwork into correcting this situation.
Now, some of these situations, no, the women should not go and do anything.
Oh, absolutely not. This was just him saying something.
He said
this isn't him physically doing something like Jack Gallagher or Jordan Devlin has. Like, these people beat the shit out of women, and they should fuck off and never be in the industry again. And there should be actual legal, action taken against these people if this is the case.
But the fact that, like, AEW is sending him to rehab, they're donating his check, shows me that there's something that was said with AEW higher-ups, Sammy Guevara, and then seeing, like, Sasha Banks. Like, I have a feeling, like, there's all this there, and, I think it's going to take a while for Sammy Guevara to get back, like, up there. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, even, like, he's a part of the Inner Circle. Like, Jericho, like, defended him. I could just see Jericho just being like, "Oh, you freaking idiot!
Yeah.
Why didn't you I just tweeted! Oh, I hate you. You're gone."
But I also wouldn't surprise me if Jericho would try to have both of them on the podcast to actually have, like, audio from both of them. Well, hey, Pete, what have you been playing?
All right, change up pace. New season Rainbow Six dropped. I've been playing that. I have not played. I've only gotten to, like, tier 10 on Call of Duty's new season. Like, I don't care. I just can't get into it right now. Been playing Overwatch, and I've been still trying to dive into The Witcher, which, dude, this game, I don't know how people thought it was the game of the year. You have to physically talk to everybody. You can't skip cutscenes because you have to
You don't play role-playing games.
No.
That's why.
Oh my god, you have to interact with everybody, and the way you answer it is what they give you, and I'm like, oh my god, can I just go get ranked up and kill things? Like, you're like, no, right out there and look at the
dude,
corn.
You gotta craft potions, you gotta be doing all kinds. Well, just wait till you get to the card game, dude.
I am over it. I am definitely over it. Injustice Gods Among Us was free for PC and Xbox One.
Yep.
It doesn't handle that well because it is the makers of Mortal Kombat, and I think Injustice 2 cleaned up a lot of it. It handles kind of clunky because it's a 3D game, or 360 game too.
How old is Injustice? Because I remember playing that game a couple years ago.
It was on the Xbox 360. It wasn't on the One. Handles a little different, but I've been messing with that.
So I've been playing a game called Nier Automata. It's kind of, Pete, I think you should check it out. It's a shooting game. It's a hack and slash game. It's a side-scrolling, like, spaceship game. In like the first 10 minutes, I was having a blast. I'll send it to you after we're done with the show.
Is it on Game Pass?
It is on Game Pass. That's how I downloaded it.
Okay, well, we're gonna do it.
I don't know if it's co-op, but it's still fun. But hey, man, that is the Full Nelson Press, episode 84. What I'm gonna say is the greatest episode in podcast history.
What?
Because I can say that now.
Yeah, we can.
If you enjoyed our witty banter on sports entertainment, make sure you like the Full Nelson Press page, Facebook page, and subscribe to the Full Nelson Press on YouTube. But hey, man, go watch some wrestling.
Yeah, bet.